afternoon, I'm Varun Raghupathy, and you're watching a Democracy in Action update. Although it may not be a big election year, there are still many races happening right here in Onondaga County that are ones to watch, and that includes the race for the 128th District Member of Assembly. That's being split three ways this year. Pamela Hunter is running for the Democratic Party, David Stott is representing the Conservative Party, and John Sharon is being endorsed by the Republican, Independent, and Reform Party. This is the only state legislative race in central New York this year because Cuomo appointed the current member, Sam Roberts, as the state's Commissioner of Welfare and Disability Programs. The 128th District includes the town of DeWitt, Onondaga, Salina, and parts of Syracuse. Onondaga County Executive candidate Toby Shelley has had a long road to voting day. The Democrat lost last year's race for Onondaga County Sheriff to Eugene Conway. This year, he's back to challenge two-time incumbent Joni Mahoney for the executive seat, but he's had to do it without the support of his own party. In July, the Onondaga County Democratic Party decided to cut ties with Shelley because of what he said about racial profiling. And here's the quote, as you can see. He said, "You can't stop someone just based on their appearance. There has to be a criminal activity afoot, and they have to meet the description of the suspect. For example, out in Marcellus, a community that is mostly Caucasian, if you see someone who looks different, you might just stop and talk to them and ask how they're doing." And that's where the Democrats decided to cut ties. And since that quote, Shelley has had to run essentially on his own. He went door to door this summer, collecting 2,000 additional signatures so that he could stay on the party line. He's got a tall task ahead of him if he wants to defeat Joni Mahoney, who has been the Onondaga County executive for the past 8 years. And we're joined now by NCC News reporter Zach Francis, who's here to tell us about a student who tried to vote at Syracuse University's Byrd Library but was unsuccessful. Zach, what happened?
Well, Varun, I'm here outside of Byrd Library on the Syracuse campus, which is being used as a polling place today, but as one Syracuse student learned, not for everyone. Sophomore Eric Benjamin came into the library today not even realizing it was election day. But when he saw that it was, he said, well, I should probably vote, do my civic duty. He went up to the table and said, hey, I'd like to vote. And they said, well, sorry, Eric, but you can't. You see, Eric was not registered to vote at this polling place. He was instead supposed to vote on Almond Street. Now, this is a lesson that all voters can learn. If you're not sure where you're supposed to go to vote, you can always call the Onondaga Board of Elections at 315-435-8683. Varun?
Zach, thank you. Voter turnout has been low in North Syracuse. There was confusion for voters at the community center earlier this afternoon. This polling station is one of two in northern Syracuse that serves residents in the Cicero District 5 and 6. The turnout here today has been very slow. They've only seen around 80 voters since they opened this morning at 6 a.m. There's been a lot of confusion today here due to a recent change in the Clay District 10 polling station that used to be located at this center. This change has made it difficult for some residents to find their correct polling station, and due to the low amount of voters, workers at this poll passed the time by telling stories and knitting scarves. Despite the low numbers of voters today, the chair of this polling station says that interacting with people is one of his favorite parts of his job.
I really like helping people be able to get voted because I feel it's such an important thing, and I value people that value voting.
They are expecting close to 200 voters by the end of tonight. However, this number is extremely low considering there are 1,200 eligible voters within the two districts this polling station serves. That's all we have for now. Stay tuned for more Democracy in Action updates right here on NCC News. I'm Varun Raghupathy. Happy voting.